I just want to start this video out by saying Rainbow Six Siege Outbreak is probably one of the most unique experiences, yet familiar, that I've played in quite a while. It seems to borrow quite a bit from different games, but also retain what Rainbow Six Siege is all about. Most of you guys are going to know about Rainbow Six Siege Outbreak and what exactly it is, but for you guys who are new to Rainbow Six Siege and have no idea what's happening, Outbreak is basically an alien virus has landed here on Earth, and you are sent in to contain it. There's 3 different story missions that you're going to be doing. This is going to be coming early March this year. So let's actually talk about the gameplay and what exactly you're going to be doing in Outbreak. Basically, you are dropped at a certain location. You have to go through the map either stealthily or guns a-blazing, get to a certain objective. Usually it's a plant a bomb, plant a thermite charge, wait for the hordes to come, defend the objective, and then you continue on. Alright, so let's talk about the stealth aspects in the story missions just for a second here. So when you first jump into the game, you feel like you can go around stealth. You know, you're headshotting grunts here and there, and you don't really see much going on. You feel like you're going through stealth, and then all of a sudden a horde comes and you're really confused, and that is just how the game is set up. Stealth is not really a big part of it, I'm finding. You can do stealth for a tiny bit, but then there's going to be a section of the mission where all of a sudden there's a horde and stealth just doesn't matter anymore. You're just going to be guns a-blazing, shooting everything you can, going through ammo, and that's it. That's basically what it's all about. It comes down to kind of defend the objective sort of thing, and stealth becomes irrelevant, basically. It's not really in the game. It's there for a tiny bit, maybe a couple minutes. Say you can do stealth, and then they kind of just take that away from you. It may disappoint some people, but at the same time, some people like to go guns a-blazing anyway, so is it going to affect you? I'm not too sure. It's going to be personal preference, but that's just how I feel how they did the whole stealth. It's there, but it's not there. It kind of feels cheap and fake. The closest thing I can compare this game to is probably Left 4 Dead. It borrows a lot of things from that game, but yet retaining its own unique aspects, which is awesome. You get all of your favorite operators, you get their weapons, attachments, gadgets, and then you get an additional flashlight on whatever weapon you're using, which is kind of cool, but honestly, I feel like I was just leaving it on all the time. It goes back to the whole stealth thing. They didn't really think that through too far. It's there, but at the same time, it's not really there, and it doesn't really affect things all that much. How difficult is Outbreak? I would say it is quite difficult. It's quite balanced for 3 people. Even on normal difficulty, things can kind of get out of hand quickly if you guys aren't working together. Just when you think it's getting too easy, some big mother-fricking aliens come and start attacking you, and it gets a little bit overwhelming. There's breachers, grunts, rooters, apex, and smashers. There's 5 different types of enemies here, and all of them together gets kind of crazy. So let's kind of talk about each enemy type here for a second. So grunts are the basic enemy. You're going to be seeing them everywhere. They're not super hard to kill. Headshots are your friend. So they have 2 different forms. The kind of docile, undisturbed. They haven't noticed you just yet. And if you just headshot them once, they will die. But if they do notice you and they get all riled up, they will actually transform a little bit. Their hands will become giant spikes, and they will run at you. They're going to take a couple more headshots. They are a lot stronger than the docile version. The breachers are crawling zombies, basically. They're very quick. They have a giant yellow kind of gooping thing on their back. They can blow up reinforcements. They can blow up beside you. The easiest way to deal with them, I find, if there's a lot of enemies around, just hit the breachers away and they'll blow up a little ways away from you, and then you just don't have to worry about it. Then we have the rooters, which teleport around, basically. They go into the ground, come up somewhere else. and then they send a root at you, which basically holds you in place until you shoot it. They're very, very strong, sometimes hard to deal with if there is more than one. But the easiest way to deal with them is get behind them and melee them. It's a one-hit melee. I do a little bit of an animation that reminds me of Doom, honestly. It's very, very cool, very satisfying. And I found myself going around and just trying to melee all of the aliens over and over again because it's just way too fun. Then we have the Apex, which is one of the top tier aliens. It basically stays back from you, throws a giant pile of goop on your face that does about 30 damage to one armored operators, and it also spawns in grunts. It is very tough to take down, a lot of bullets, and it's kind of a nuisance. I wouldn't say it's super scary. It's not going to cause too much trouble, but if there is a lot going on, it can just be that thing that's just on your back, bugging you. You can't get rid of it. But all in all, it's not too terrible. And then we have the Smasher, which if things are hectic, this thing is tough. You can't really shoot it from the front. You basically have to wait for it to charge. It'll hit something, it'll go down on the ground, and you can either shoot it in the glowing red spot on its back, or you can go up and knife it in the glowing red spot on its back. Two easy ways to deal with it. Again, not super difficult once you know what you're doing. The first time, it's kind of like you panic a little bit, but once you get it, you can kind of just sidestep out of the way, let it hit something as it charges, and take it out nice and easily. So I really like the level design in Outbreak just because there seems to be a bunch of different paths that you can actually go, but they all lead to the same area. So it feels like you're exploring. You're not limited to just one select path. You can kind of take your own path through buildings or side walkways. You know, you really have the freedom to kind of just play it how you want to play. All right, so what do you do when you run out of ammo? Well, you don't really have to worry about because there are ammo stashes everywhere. There are gadget stashes. There are med pack stashes everywhere, so you can heal up all the time. Having a healer on your team isn't really necessary unless you're in a really big pinch. You need a quick heal, then Finka or Doc can come in handy, but other than that, you don't really have to worry about supplies. There are also reinforcements when you're defending certain objectives. There'll be a box full of reinforcements you can fill up and reinforce a bunch of walls. But note, there isn't a lot of time to set up. There isn't like you have 30 seconds to set up. Good luck. It kind of just starts, and whether you're setting up or not, the zombies are there. They're coming for you. One thing I gotta say about the art style, I really, really like it. It's Siege mixed with a game called Prototype. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game, but the alien virus that's going on here really reminds me of that. I don't know why, but it's pretty similar. But I just love the way it looks. I think Ubisoft did a fantastic job on this, and I really hope to see more of this. I really, really do. One thing I am a little bit worried about here is there is not a lot of replayability. I was finding that the missions were lasting me about 15 to 20 minutes on normal, to be clear about that, on normal. But 15 to 20 minutes, there's only 3 different missions. That kind of seems a little bit lackluster. So I'm hoping maybe they bring it back in the future with more kind of story modes, or maybe a endless horde mode or something like that. I would really, really love that. And I just feel like there isn't going to be a lot of content, and people are going to blow through it fairly quickly, even if they have kind of rewards coming out every week. People are still going to just come, play it once, get their reward, and kind of leave it alone, because it's the same mission. 3 missions over and over again. Yes, you can play it on a harder difficulty, which most people are going to be doing, I feel like, because once you get it down and you understand the mechanics of the aliens, it's going to be fairly easy for you, and you're going to want a little bit more of a challenge. So I'm glad they added that in there. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are not going to get sick of it super, super quickly. We'll see. And that could also be the reason why it's only going to be going on for 4 weeks, which kind of makes sense. There's some content there, but there is not that much to kind of sustain you for a longer period of time. But all in all, I'm really, really enjoying Outbreak. It is super fun. It's fast-paced. It's intense. And believe it or not, you know, you can get overwhelmed quite easily if you're not prepared for what is happening next, and you will die. But yeah, I think that's actually going to be it for this video. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to smash that like button, and remember to subscribe if you guys have not already, because it seriously helps me out. Let me know what you guys think about Outbreak. Do you guys want to see more of this in the future, or are you just kind of sick of the whole zombie thing and you want this just to be a one and done kind of thing? Let me know in the comments below, and have a good one. See ya.
Goddamn, conversations with legends. Crazy how one day your idols can turn into your brethren. Bitches, we severing. Hit up my jeweler, watch them freezes. Breaking bread like I'm Jesus. Money ain't everything, but somehow eases. Better believe us, ain't down and leave us. The baby crying.